What is up, Honey Badger Nation? And special edition, is it Team Gogo? Is that where we're also streaming live into? We're also over in the fast forward movement with the rock stars there in the fast forward movement. So I'm super excited to be able to jump into a bunch of different locations with everybody today, and super excited to have the one and only Gogo on with us. And we did this episode last year, and it was 2020 State of Social Media. And I was like, hey, this is our first live show of 21. Like, I was on with Bugger and Christy. I was like, hey, Gogo, let's make it happen. I don't care how we do it. We're going to have her on. We're going to talk 2021 State of Social Media with the queen of social media, Miss Gogo. Say hello to everybody.
Thank you for having me. Hi, guys. This is so exciting. Thank you.
So Gogo is in Florida, and we were just chatting that
and the Beach Pro.
One of our last, I guess I saw you just briefly in Dallas, just kind of in passing, but really the last event, and you had your amazing husband, and I think you had a few others there with you, and we were just having a conversation, and I was just, I called you out because I know we had some.
It wasn't in Dallas. It was when we did the NAE certification in Cleveland. Yeah, and you were talking about, I don't even know, you were on stage talking, training us, and I don't even know how the conversation came up about having the ability of living anywhere. And you literally pointed us out of the group, and you looked at us and you said, you guys know you're not a tree. Why do you live in Michigan? And we looked at each other, we're like, why do we live in Michigan? I think people do things of habit. Like, that's where my husband was from. Even though I'm from Romania, I came as an au pair to the United States, and I got a family in Michigan. So that was my American home. And then I met Dwayne, and he was from Michigan. So we lived in Michigan.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we were chatting about this a little bit, and I know we'll get into it as we talk all things social media for 21 and kind of, consumer behavior and as things are going. And we were really talking about, and the way what I look at, and we were talking, the culture, right, that I know I was raised in, and I would love for you to share from your culture, especially my grandparents, and coming out, Great Depression, and coming out after here in the United States and everything. And it was just a culture of pride and honor to trade your time for dollars. And it's what is Dan Sullivan refers to as the time and effort economy. And where things have to shift for all of us. And this is the message that I want you guys to hit. Gogo's going to talk about it just with her success and her goals. But it's really about the effort. And I mean, not the effort, but the results.
The results, the end goal. And then how it's going to get there and what it takes to get there. It might not be your own time anymore. Yeah. So I was raised the same way, Eastern European. I'm Hungarian by nationality. Hard work. That's all I heard my whole life. Hard work. You have to be a hard worker. You have to put your time in you. It's proud to work 90 hours a week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should get a pat on the back. You don't get to spend time with your family. You don't get to live life your way. You have that 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, or all weekend. And that was my real estate career too. I worked every single day, and I worked every single weekend. And I missed, sometimes running to a wedding from, showing a house over the weekend. So it was always that like, go, so busy. And now there are times where I'm like, I don't have something going on. Like, something must be wrong because my calendar is not full to the moons. And, there's a few quotes that I'm going to go into because it was a gradual understanding of, hold on a minute, it is okay to stop trading time for money. So I'll start at the end. The one that finally made me understand it is what you get paid for the hour is what you bring to the hour. So the more you can educate yourself, the more knowledge you have, the more your hourly rate is worth. So you don't have to go do the 9 to 5 anymore for $20 an hour because you don't have the 9 to 5 mentality, which for me started with this quote, is that if you don't build your dreams, somebody's going to hire you to build theirs.
I love that one.
And I came to the US for the American dream. And at that time I was in corporate America when I read this quote. And I realized, hold on a minute, that is not the goal.
So
I came to the US.
So what was that initial for you? What was that, by your definition, what was the American dream?
To me is to go for the absolute best. I still don't know what my American dream is. I always constantly hustle, what is my next level? So when I reach this, then okay, if I can do this, then what else can I do? Then I set the next goal and the next goal. So my goal is to see what is my absolute personal highest level. So one day when I die and I hopefully make it to the pearly gates of heaven, I can look God in the eyes and be like, every skill and every knowledge that you invested in me or you gave me, because we all are who we are because God designed us this way, then I put it above and beyond the 100% use. So I can make him proud. I guess in the end of the day, if he can be proud of me, then I put every skill that he gave me to use.
That's powerful. I love that. And so kind of going through and share a little bit of your journey and into real estate, and then talk about kind of the transactions and what we were talking about, but kind of share your story and kind of figuring out, okay, I don't have all of this available. I've got to figure something out. What are all the ways? And that led you into, the path of social media.
Yeah, so I came in 2003 as an au pair, a live-in nanny. I barely spoke English. I thought I spoke English, but this black guy at the New York airport was talking to me, and I was like, English, please. And he goes, I'm speaking it. I was like, oh, if you're speaking English, then I'm clearly not speaking English. So it was a rough ride. For the first few years, I still have an accent. It's not going anywhere because I don't hear it, so I can fix it. But my accent was much, much worse. Now I've been in the country since 2003, 17 years. Could you imagine 17 years ago, like broken English? Like I didn't know how you say garlic. I didn't know how you say broom. I didn't know. I would point at things. So that's how it started. Also, I had no sphere. Just so you understand how I got into real estate. So I came to the US in 2003, met Dwayne, my husband, right away. We got married. We've been married now for 17 years happily. Awesome. And thank you. And then we had 2 boys. I worked corporate America for the longest time. When I had my second one is when I stayed home. He got very sick and I just couldn't imagine handing him over to anybody. So I stayed home. So I did that for about a year and a half. And then I realized, hold on a minute, not cut out for this. I need to hold an adult conversation. I need to put people on. I need to value myself. And it's not a good trait, but I do value myself of what I bring to society. I want to feel like I'm contributing to society. And that, of course, in return, you get money for it. So I felt like I needed just to make some of my own money. So I don't always have to rely on Jane of hey, can I buy a mascara? You know what I mean? And so my neighbor at the time thought I would make a great realtor. I was watching HGTV. I was like, psh, I got this. So I'm going to be a realtor. So I went and got licensed. Very quickly got a reality check of the 80-20 rule. First of all, 80% of the agents leave the industry in the first 2 years. And so I'm very competitive it's just my nature is how I am. So I was like, I am not going to be a part of the 20%. I don't care what it takes. So then I started interviewing agents that were the top producers in the office. I'm like that annoying 3-year-old with the why questions, but why? I seriously go and knock on every agent's door and ask them how they run business. So very quickly I realized, you have to have $6,000 to spend on Zillow leads, or you have to have $4,000 to spend on farming, or you have to have a huge sphere of influence and a bunch of ISAs cold calling for you, or you have to spend your own time cold calling, or even better, you have to show up at strangers' doors and knock on it and beg them for their business. And I was like, no, none of that. No, not it. Yep. Not that. So very quickly with the process of elimination, I figured out what I was not willing to do. But then at the same time, okay, so I'm no loser. So what am I willing to do? Then I have to do something. And so with no sphere, barely English, speaking English, no college education, no sales experience, none of those, I said, social media is the only thing that I knew as a generational trait of how to do. And then also I could afford at the time because it was free. So I started Gogo's Real Estate on Facebook. I was the first, I bet you, in the state that the Realtor had a Facebook business page. Most of them were like, what the heck is that? Yeah. And I got made fun of all the time. I would go to events and I would go to open houses and broker opens and this and that and take videos and pictures. And they were like, what is she doing? Are you seriously? I had this question so many times. Are you seriously going to take another selfie? And I was like,
so how did you deal with that? Because I know that's a real mental block for a lot of people. They're like, well, I don't want that embarrassment. I don't want people looking at me that way or asking me those questions. So I know this will be really powerful. How did you?
Another quote. I also always, how do I say this nicely? without people think that I'm like egotistic or something. I don't, but I believe that God doesn't make miracles. So the way he created me, I must be perfect. And I learned to love myself. Also, I guess one of the things that growing up I never got from my parents is the Eastern European love language is tough love. I've never heard from my parents, I love you. There's no like, oh, I'm so proud of you or things like that. I never got that growing up. So even very early on in my life, I had to learn that if I want to have love, the only person that I can for sure get it from, because I can't make other people say it, it's myself. So I had to learn very early on that I have to love myself. That's the only for sure source of love that I know. So very early on, I learned to love myself. And when you learn that, then you no longer need anyone's acceptance. Like I could care less what they think, really. That's number one. But number two, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like that gut feeling that, if God gave you an idea, he put it in your head because he believes you already have the skills and the tools that it takes to make that idea flourish. Your only job is to act on it. So I knew in my gut feeling that is the avenue that's going to make my name, and I could care less what they're going to think because I have to follow that. So it's almost like I knew that social media is the avenue for me without having the end proof, if that makes sense. So I just continued doing it no matter what they said. And then eventually it got to the point where the people that used to make fun of me, they were coming to me like, oh, how you do that? Why do you do that? You know what I mean? And then that's how Gogo's Bootcamp came about, is because then I was repeating myself, explaining the same thing over and over again 10 times a day. I couldn't walk down in the office on the hallway without like, hey, Gogo, by the way, I have a quick question. Like I couldn't get anything done in the office because that's what it was like all day. So I figured I will record myself, turn it into a course. And that's Gogo's Bootcamp, is the knowledge of social media. But it's like errors and what do they call it? It's like, it's not like I had it all figured out on day one. It's like I pushed buttons. What happens if I push this button? Oh, okay, that's cool. What happens if I push that button? Oh, I posted this. It didn't really do well. Clearly, shouldn't post it anymore. I posted this. That did really well. So let's do more of that. So it's just kind of that. Let's figure out how this thing works and turn it into money.
Test. So you're in there. You're figuring things out. At what point did it kind of shift for you that there's something bigger, right? What is, starting to think about, hey, what is my freedom? What am I moving towards? What's the goal, right? And, we were chatting a little bit, and we both kind of shared a story with Brent Gove. He challenged the mastermind room in Cincinnati a year and a half ago, and he just flat out said, a lot of you in this room need to do less transactions.
Yeah.
And so at what point did that like kind of click for you that like, I don't want to sell real estate for the rest of my life. Like there's got to be a better way. There's an end game. But So where did that kind of click for you? Because I know a lot of agents they haven't thought about that, or they haven't figured that out yet.
So I'll walk you through my little bit of my career because it's kind of like a chronological order thing. So got licensed in 2011. I was with Real Estate One for 6.5 years. I was the baby. I had a really good cap, a really good cut. I was called the $1 million baby because I listed a 1.2 million, sold it in 3.5 hours, which in our average price range at the time was 280. So it was like a big deal. It was my first $1 million listing. And so I really had no reason to leave from there. Not the cap, not the cut, not the people. I had it really, really good. But then the year when Keller Williams got to me, I did 48 transactions that year personally. And just so you understand, I never got into real estate. I got into real estate to make enough money to have money for spring breaks, buy purses, have enough money for Starbucks, and be able to go home to Romania in the summertime. I usually go home anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks every summer, which if anybody listening, the Michigan real estate market is seasonal. So we have the hot market is in the summer, and that's when I wanted to go home. So clearly I didn't get into it to be like that big mega team icon agent. It was never the thing, but I wanted to make very good money, and I became very good very fast. And I realized at that point, I'm like, hold on a minute. I did 48 transactions this year. Yes, I was proud, and I was dropping off the kids and I was picking up the kids. But when I was home with the kids, this is what I was doing. Sorry, I have to take this call. I'm sorry. I would lock myself into the bathroom so I can take this call because I knew it's a $13,000 phone call. You know what I mean? So and then I realized that's not what I got into here for. Like, yes, I want to make more money, but I already hit my personal ceilings. I cannot do another freaking transaction. I will lose my freaking mind. And so I realized, okay, there has to be another way of making money in real estate besides chasing that next freaking commission. Yep. So then Keller got to me with what they called profit share. So mind you, I went from a 9,000 cap to a 21,000 cap because of profit share. So I figured I will take the hit on my cap because I know my connections, I know the amount of people I can reach. And that is, so said, we'll replace it eventually. And I will be leveraging my time. I will be making passive income. And that was my goal at that point because I ran out of time. I had no more time to trade for money. So unless I build a team and all that, I didn't want to do it.
Right.
So, or start my own brokerage. So then I decided, okay, well, I do like my cute little brand. So I switched to Keller. I did the profit share, all that. I attracted 42 agents to Keller in the 8 months that I was with them. But then I decided to go get my broker's license because I figured, you know, big corporations, if they change the rules and whatnot, I like my cute little Gogo's real estate brand the way it is. I don't want to have to ever adjust my ways because another company tells you how to do things.
Right.
So I figured it would be the best if I just went and got a broker's license just in case. So I was in the middle of getting my broker's license. And then Mark Z and Kurt Shewell came to me to talk about EXP, and I was not interested. I was like, I'm just going to put you out of your misery. I'm not interested. Don't waste your time. But they got to me. They got to me. And then in 2018, November, I became officially an EXP agent. And I did that because right up from the get-go for revenue share, because I did stocks, because I had everything else already going for me. I didn't need help with transactions. I know how to get transactions. I know how to work them. I know how to close them. I know all that. For me, it was, okay, what is the next possible way to make money in real estate? And that was stocks and that was revenue share. So my goal was, when I got over here, is to eventually get out of chasing the next transaction. And I figured the avenue to do that would be revenue share and stocks.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, for everybody, and then I want to talk some behaviors, and then let's get into what you're seeing is a must into 21 for social media. And I know we got a lot of folks tuning in, and then we'll have a lot of folks that watch this. It's you know, really important to kind of get the story to understand, you know, the learning curve to build up to where we're at, you know, with Gogo and what she's seen to get her to this point. Right. And we were chatting a little bit that, you know, really the goal is freedom, and it's not to sell more transactions, because guess what? You get to do next month and next year, sell the same transaction.
You're unemployed again.
And so, you know, how many deals did you personally do last year?
Personally, or the team? So I still help with negotiation and marketing, but I don't do any of the legwork. I don't do the transaction. I don't write the contracts. I don't show up at inspections, none of that. So none.
Yeah. So like the biggest objection, right? And this goes back to the overarching theme that we were chatting about, and we'll let you guys kind of see when we get into what 21 and moving forward. And, you know, it's just exactly what, you know, I mean, Holly and I have been chatting about it. Holly, like her first podcast this year, she launched, it was the year of authenticity. And so we were chatting, and like the biggest thing that Gogo gets is, well, when you went to EXP, your transactions went down.
But every time I'm like, okay, you want to see my bank account though? That went up.
Yeah.
Because that's the goal. In the end of the day, we work for money, and it's about working smarter, not harder. It's about working less, having more time with your family, helping others achieve their goals. Because you know the quote that says, I mean, the easy way to say it, you get what you give. But the other way of saying it, as Zig Ziglar says, that it has more meaning in my mind, is that the more people you can have absolutely anything in life, the more people you can help have what they want. And with this model, we have a financial vested interest in each other. The more people I can help physically to reach their goals, or mentally, I should say, to reach their goals, the more I'm going to be able to reach mine.
Yep. Right. 100%.
It's really that simple. So not trading time for money, and social media comes in exactly. It's a perfect example for that, because it might take me 5 to 10 minutes to make a post. And I might do it today at 11 a.m., but you might watch it 2 years from now. You might watch it at midnight. Somebody else might watch it on in another country on a boat at, you know, Sunday morning. Like, you just never know. Social media works for you 24/7. I worked for that post for 10 minutes. Yeah. That post will work for me for the rest of my life.
It has so much more shelf life, right? Versus, you know, direct mail has the time that they look at it, if they look at it till it hits the trash can, the radio spots, right? There's certain, other offline, pieces, and it's kind of one of the things I'd love to get your take on here in a second. But I was listening to Gary had Barbara Corcoran on a couple days ago, just real quick, 10 minutes. It was fantastic. Barbara's fantastic. And, she was talking about consumer behavior, where things are at right now. And she's like, we've always heard, the customer is in charge, and she's like, more than ever. And I don't know if you've read Marcus Sheridan's book called They Ask You Answer. He has a revised and updated version. It's still about a year or so old, but he has a statistic right out of the jump of the book. And he says, consumers consume content and information about you. 70% of those consumers have consumed you, and they know you, and they know what you're about before they ever have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And he said 10 years ago, it was maybe 35 to 40%. So if that's true,
we didn't put ourselves out there. Now you have the ability to put yourself out there and share with the world of who you are. So that is the reason of my success with agent attraction here at EXP as well, is because I put the good, bad, and the ugly out there. I have all of the videos, all of the content they could possibly need to research me, to research the company. And they do that before, again, just as you said, before they ever jump on a call with me, they already done the research. So when we are having a conversation about should they or should they not join EXP, it's very specific. At that point, they already understand the company. They understand the model. I don't have to explain it. They've done the research. I'm just there to be like, what does it, what would they benefit from joining with me versus joining with somebody else, whatever their questions are. Or they might say, okay, well, I would like to start a team when I come over to EXP. Right now, I'm an individual agent. Or they might say, you know what, I only have a license in the state of Michigan, but I really want to do what you do and be a snowbird and get a license in Florida. Can I do that? So by sharing your story, now they know that I'm from Michigan. They know that I live down in Florida for the winter time, and they want to do that. So when they find something in common with you is when they're going to reach out. But the only way they know that they have something in common with you when you share of what's going on. So otherwise, they don't know that I have a bulldog. Otherwise, they don't know that I'm a mom of 2 boys. Otherwise, they don't know that I run a team. Otherwise, they don't know, you know what I mean? So the only reason they know all that, because I put it out there. Now, where people are like, well, I'm really private. It's like, okay, well, you understand that you get to control what you put out there. Like, if you think you really know me, you're wrong. You don't. You only know what I allow you to know.
Right.
The rest I don't put out there.
She's pretty freaking cool behind the social media for everybody listening in. So she's pretty genuine, pretty straight across. But so that goes. I loved what you just said there, because a lot of people and understand, or are not quite sure what to put out there. What you just said is that you listen to what agents are telling you, the questions they have, and you're creating the content out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like today we talked to like one of our Team Gogo members. She's pregnant. She's an icon agent, but she is pregnant. She's like, how am I can't possibly continue doing the volume that I've been doing. So what do you recommend? I said, it's time for you to start a team. I said, it's time for you to get a buyer's agent, or in your case, actually more like a showing specialist, because she can do all the negotiations. She can do all the marketing. She can do all the contracts. She just can't be legs on the ground. She can physically be there. So that's not really a buyer specialist, because they don't need to write the contracts. That's more of a showing agent. So then we went into the details of how I would look for one, what are their job responsibilities for that agent, and then how would you compensate them. So she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited. So now she's going to hire 2, so she can always have someone on board that is willing to help her, and she's ready to grow. So life doesn't have to change just because now you have a curveball. You just have to adjust your sales to it. It's not the card. What do they say? It's not the amount. It's not the cards you got. It's how you play them.
I love that what you just said, and those of us that will survive the disruption have to thrive on the change, have to thrive on the creativity. What are all the ways, and not be like, oh well, I'm doomed. It's what are all the ways to be able to get to that point. The other point, obviously we know, and we're going to really dive into it, is we know that, everything online is king, right? Just everything these days.
If you don't have a social media presence, if you don't exist, if you think about it, For the millennial, they are the biggest pool of buyers right now, and they're going to be in a few years. They're going to be the biggest pool of sellers, because by that time they have children. They need to upsize, downsize, all that. If you think about it, if you don't exist to them on social media, you don't exist. They are not going to call you. They have a conversation with you or meet you in person. They are not used to eye contact. Okay, they want to text. They're gonna drop you a DM. They're gonna watch a video and be like, "She's a cool chick. I want to work with her." Like, that's how you're going to get your clients. They're not going to go to mom and be like, "Mom, do you know a realtor that's good?" No, they're gonna go on Instagram and they're gonna put hashtag realtor, hashtag Michigan realtor, and find her and be like, "She's the one."
Yep.
And if you are not even an option on there, you don't exist.
And guys, if you take anything away, I know Gogo's going to give us some solid, actionable nuggets.
Hey, we'll start going into it, huh?
That right there is you. If you're not there, you're not going to survive it. I was on my run this morning, and I was thinking about a couple different, brokerages and companies, and their resistance to it, and they're all on the other big media spots, right? They thrive on radio. They have a lot of really great billboards. They're doing some direct mail stuff, but they're not as heavy online as they should be. And I feel that is just a matter of time to where they lose that mind share, right? So if you want more market share, you have to have mind share first. And you may have mind share now, but if you're not moving to where the consumer is, right? Gogo, just everything that she if you didn't catch what she just said over the last 5 minutes, go back and listen to this right through there, that if you're not there where the eyeballs are, it's just a matter of time. You're going to become irrelevant. And,
instinct.
Change before you have to, or you lose, or at a point where you can't.
Yeah, technology is not an option. Social media is not an option. Like back in the day, you remember when people were like, "I'm not going to have an email address. I'm not doing that. The .com, I'm not doing that. Like, that's ever going to work." Really, what would you do today without an email address? Could you even log into your bank account? Could you have access to your own money? No, there's absolutely nothing you can do today without an email address. Yeah. So these are the same things. Social media is not going anywhere. It's not the option of like, "Oh, should I do that or should I not?" Do you want to exist or do you not?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the question you have to ask. And And one last thing, and this is, if you guys want to go check out that episode with Gary and Barbara Corcoran, I think it was yesterday's episode that he dropped, but one of the things, and this was kind of the things, how she kind of wrapped it up, was you just have to be authentic. People see through the bullshit. That was her exact words. And she goes, "I've even started doing pictures and posts and stuff without my makeup." She goes, "People find me, I guess they resonate more with me without my makeup than with it." And if you guys are Barbara Corcoran fans, you can just picture her saying that.
I always say the good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, you can see me all dialed up, or you can see, I always joke and say I can go from hit to hot in 2 seconds. Like, it's just makeup and a filter, and I'm a totally different person. But I do show absolutely myself without makeup. I show like some yoga pants and whatnot, and the knowledge is in your head. So it doesn't matter. It's really not the looks. And to be honest with you, when people get to see your real side is when they truly get attached. The reason I don't have a listing presentation is because I don't need one. Because people know they want to work with me before I ever step in on the door. I don't cold call. I don't know that door knock. I don't buy leads. Every person reaches out to me that they want to work with me. So they already know they want to work with me before I ever step a foot in on the door. And that is your goal. Your goal is to sell them on you before they ever even need your services. So when they need a realtor, they're like, "We're going to call the Gogo chick."
Yep, 100%. Yeah. I love it.
And for that, there's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to do in 2021. So let's get right into it. So let's get into it. So the basics are, when I talk about anything that I post, guys automatically know I'm talking business page. I don't do business on personal, okay? I have a personal Facebook and a personal Instagram, and I have a business Facebook and a business Instagram, and that's where you're going to do business on. The reason why is because you want to be able to see your insights, what's called the insight. That's your back of your business. It's going to show you who's your audience, how old they are, where they located, what day of the week they log in, what time of the day they log in, and all of those things. So then if one day you decide to market, which I also don't spend advertising money. My goal is to teach you how to do all this organically without spending a single dollar. But if you want to speed up the process, or if you want to reach targeted audiences, you can absolutely do that with advertising dollars. Now, if you are an EXP agent watching this, you cannot do that for agent attraction. So be very careful. I'm talking transactions if you run ads. So with that being said, let's go into some of the things that you can do in 2021, assuming that you all have business pages. If you don't, create it and link it all together. So I post everything on Instagram and automatically link to my Facebook. So when I post it here, it just feeds over to the other. So 2 birds, 1 stone. Cool? Okay. So one of the biggest things that is going to be huge in 2021 and can help your business so much, it's called the support local businesses. There's actually a tag in your Instagram. So when you do a story and you swipe up in your stories on Instagram, you'll see there's a little icon that's called support small business sticker. With that, you can actually tag a local business. And here's what I want you to do, because I know many of you are shut down. Like the state of Michigan is still shut down, and many of the small businesses are truly, really, really suffering. And so you can bring awareness to services that they provide out, even during the shutdown. Like maybe they can order, maybe they drop off, maybe you can pick up, maybe, whatever that company is. So I want you to do giveaways every single week. So maybe you call it a Wednesday giveaway, a Tuesday giveaway, or whatever you do. And for that, you can do it multiple ways. If the business that you want to promote doesn't feel comfortable of meeting you in person because of COVID, then you can absolutely do a Zoom call or like a FaceTime presentation and all that, where both of you, just like John and I are on here today, you would have that business on here on your Zoom and yourself, and then you would interview that business. And you would ask them, when were they founded and who are they? Because people relate to people, not to businesses. So the more you can share the person that's behind that local business, the more people are going to relate, because they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I went to high school with them. You know what I mean? Or, oh my gosh, they are, they go to the same church. I didn't know they own the restaurant. Like, people will want to support one another. So you're going to interview them. Then you are going to ask them prior to the interview, okay, is there anything that you can give away? So let's say it's a restaurant and they can say, okay, appetizer is on us when someone comes in for a dinner for 2. Or let's say it's a floral shop and they are going to give away a cute little $50 bouquet of flowers that someone can send to absolutely anyone. Okay, so you always want to have something that they can give away, that it wouldn't cost them an arm and a leg, but it would generate them business. Because sometimes, most of the times, the giveaway are certain kind that they actually have to come in and spend a certain amount of money to get the 20% off, or they have to, order a dinner for 2 in order to get a free appetizer, or things like that. So it generates business to money to the business as well, but then it generates eyeballs on both of your businesses, and so people get to know that local business. So the only catch here is the local business that you are promoting, they must have a Facebook page.
Gotcha.
If they don't have one, it's not going to work, because your goal is not just to promote them. This is always a two-way highway. I will give the attention of my people, but then I want the attention of yours. Because now my people are going to learn about your business, but your people are going to learn about mine. So that's the reason why you're doing it.
Could you do that for a little value add if they don't have one, help them set it up, or the importance of it? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And they should have, in this day and age, if they want to make it, they have to have an online presence. So that could be your added bonuses, like, okay, you'll give something to my people, I'll give you my time, help you set up your business page.
Perfect.
And you're going to promote each other, but with the promotion, you're going to play this video that you're going to record in the introduction of the local business, and then you are going to do what's called a giveaway. So you would say, okay, everyone, this is how you're going to opt in to potentially win that item that the business is offering. You must tag 3 local friends. Why do we do that? Because I want more eyeballs on my account. Those 3 friends, including yourself, must follow both businesses. So you have to follow my business, you have to follow the floral shop. Then until Sunday, the more entries they do, the more chances they have to win. So if they tag 6 friends, they get 2 entries. If they tag 9 friends, they get 3 entries. And then on Sunday, you pull the winner. And then on Sunday, you're going to go live again with that person very quick and pull the winner, where the business is going to close their eyes, spin, because you're going to see all of those comments, and they stop it. And when they stop it, you can share it on the screen, and the winner is so-and-so. So now you have this correspondence on your Facebook page, because Facebook doesn't care about how many followers you have, nor does Instagram. They care about the interaction on that page. So if you posted something and there's 3 likes and 1 comment, they're like, okay, well, clearly this is not important. And they're not going to show it for other people. Now, if you posted something and then suddenly 100 people are commenting and everybody's watching the video and they're sharing it on their Facebook page so they can win the free item, now Facebook says, oh, whatever you posted must be really interested, because people are really taking their time. They're watching it, they're commenting, they're sharing. So they're going to push it to even more people to see. Your job is to get in front of every eyeball in your local community that you can possibly think of. And that's why you always tag 3 local friends. Your business is local. Now, if somebody gets tagged and they live in New Jersey and you are in Florida, that's perfectly fine, because guess what? People in New Jersey have to live somewhere too. So if you gain their business, if somebody's going to reach out to you and says, oh, I wish you were in my neck of the woods, we are having a baby and buying a house, and I would love you to be a realtor, to be our realtor, you say, oh, guess what? I can be, but I have a rockstar local agent. Can I please make the introduction? I just need your name and email address, and they would take care of you. And I'm always here for any help you need during the process. And there's a referral for 25%. So everybody has to live somewhere. So promote your local businesses. The way I want you to do it to be efficient is a Saturday or Sunday in a month, go and set up your appointments for 4 local businesses. There's 4 weeks in a month. So each week, every Tuesday, you have a business to promote. Then you're going to set up your Zooms. You can literally get it done anytime. It's going to be like a 15, 30-minute Zoom call. You get those 4 done, then you are ready for the month. So then you know, okay, on the 6th of this month, we are promoting this business, and the 12th of this month, we are promoting this business, and the whatever, each of these,
get out ahead of it,
Tuesdays, Thursdays, or whatever. So then you know what's coming up. So you constantly have content, and the more stuff you're giving away, the more people are going to follow you. But besides the giveaway, you must also go live or show the winner or create a Zoom call with the winner, or how they're going to use their gift, or maybe they already used it and how they loved it, or how was the business when they visited it, whatever that is. You must do that, because if not, people won't take you seriously that you actually are giving stuff away. Okay, so you have to show more as well. So I would do the 4 giveaways and the 4 Zoom calls. You can get that done in one Saturday. Okay, and then you're good for the month. So those are big, not only for your local exposure, but the local businesses, they truly need your help. Now, if you are doing this on Instagram, so let's say you make your video post and post it on Instagram, you can share that into your stories. And when you share it into your stories, you can swipe up, and there's a little icon called Support Small Business Sticker. You want to put that on there, because then you can tag the local business as well. So you want them to follow you, cross-reference each other, and then you want them to share this video. So when you're posting this, the other business that you're promoting, they have to share it on their site, because you want to cross-reference both businesses. Sure. And gain the business. So let's talk about videos this year. So you must do video, no question at all. I don't care what you do, get it done. Okay. If you don't like the way you look and sound, guess what? The people that know you, they know what you look and sound, and the people who don't know you, their opinion doesn't matter. Okay, cool. We are over that. So let's talk about the type of videos that you can do. So Instagram is my home. That's where I spend most of my time, but it automatically feeds over to Facebook. So I'm going to explain most of the Instagram features, but Facebook has very familiar features as well. So IGTV videos, you shoot this way, not this way, this way. Okay, and I forgot to write down YouTube, because I don't do much on YouTube, but I'm going to talk about that too, since that reminded me. So if you need to upload a video to YouTube, you want to do it horizontally, okay? If you want to upload a video to Instagram, you want to do it vertically, because Instagram allows you to have what's called the tall page versus a wide that YouTube allows you to do. So you can do an IGTV, which allows you to post a video up to 10 minutes long, but not longer than that, unless you're verified. If you're verified, you can post however long videos you want. And I just got verified.
Yes, you did. Congratulations.
Thank you. 11 years into social media, huh? Overnight success.
That's there right. Always.
Yeah. So IGTV, 10 minutes long, and you can edit them. But most of the time, guys, all of the videos that I post, I don't send them to an editor. I literally just post it. So what I do usually is when you post your IGTV video, it asks you if you want to take an image from the IGTV video to be the placeholder in your feed, or do you want to upload a different image? So if I look hit, like, this, then I upload a different image that's edited, that's going to be the front of that video. But when they click it, that image goes away right away and goes to the original video. Makes sense? But on your feed, it looks pretty. Your feed is your storefront. That is why people come. So imagine if there was a street, an avenue of realtors, okay? And people are walking down on that avenue, and they're deciding what store to go into and buy from. That is your storefront. There's 2.4 million realtors between US and Canada. Why on earth should someone choose to work with me versus work with John?
Sure.
Or work with you?
Right.
And that's because of how you deliver your business, your storefront. So your storefront has to be pretty. So if my video that I'm creating, I don't have makeup on, and it's not the most ideal background or whatever, maybe I got an idea and I'm on the beach walking and it's windy out and all that, I will replace it. I will take a selfie very quick, and then I will edit that selfie, make it pretty, and that's the placeholder. So when I'm uploading the video, in the bottom it says, do you want to choose an image, or do you want to add an image to be the placeholder? And you want to add an image, because you want your storefront, which is your feed, which is what people see when they go to your profile. You want that to be pretty and organized. If you look at mine, I always use the same filter, that kind of orangey filter. And I always have 5 pictures or videos and quotes. I don't want you to have like random things. Like, you want it to be organized. That is your business. But social media is my business. That's how we pay the bills. I take it very seriously. Okay, so that's IGTV. Reels is the new big thing. If you don't do Reels, you're really missing out on it. Believe it or not, I'm not an autistic person. I am more of a nerd than I am of an artistic person, to be honest with you. And Reels require a lot of artistic abilities and like editing and music in the background and this and that. So my Reels are not that fancy, but I still do them. Should you do them? Absolutely. What I did one day, I literally just told myself, I just have to figure it out. So I went online, I went on YouTube, and I watched a bunch of videos of how to create and edit Reels and do that, post some Reels. The reason why you want Reels is because it's the newest Instagram thing. Reels is like TikTok, is the Instagram version of TikTok. But the cool thing is, on TikTok, the average age is 18. On Instagram, the average age is like 35. So the chances that an 18-year-old is going to buy a house from you is slim to none. 35-year-olds, absolutely. But the thing is, between the two, is they still want to see those TikTok style videos on a different platform. So now you can create Reels on Instagram. So, go on YouTube, watch some videos, create your Reels. Instagram right now is pushing that, which means that if you were to post an IGTV style video or a regular style video versus Reels, Instagram will push your Reels to audiences, even if they don't follow you, just because it's a new feature and they want everybody to use it. So use Reels all the time. Regular video on Instagram just means it cannot be longer than 1 minute. Okay, gotcha. So it has to be less than 60 seconds. Lives, you can do that on Facebook, on Instagram, and pretty much any of the platforms. I don't use lives very often because I feel like things work better if people get notified ahead of times of like, hey, I'm going live at this point, or we are doing this thing at this time. So if they have a thing ahead of time, absolutely. But if I used to do lives all the time when I used to do open houses. So if I would do an open house, or if I'm, let's say, going to a pre-listing appointment or something where they allow you to tour the home and go live with that, I would strongly recommend you to do that and just, allow people to see in what it's like a listing appointment, or what home is coming on the market, or this is the open house, welcome to the property, so they can see it. Stories, you must do stories. If you don't know what stories are, so the feed is where you post and it will be up there forever. That's your storefront. That's what people see when they go to your profile. Yep. Stories, if you click someone's profile icon picture, if they post stories, you're going to see these little 15-second snippets. Those are snippets into someone's life. Those stories are up for 24 hours, then they go poof. That's where you do stupid stuff. That's when you post the stuff that you don't want to have on your feed, but you want people to really know you. So that's where you're going to see my karaoke's. That's where you're going to see my, jumping in the ocean together, or, like that kind of stuff that is not real estate related, but it allows you to see my personality and have an insight into my life. You must do stories. I do anywhere from 10 to 14 stories a day and 1 to 2 posts a day. So if you are not doing that, you have to, in 2021, just get into the habit. And guys, everybody's like, how do you have time for that? Okay, tell me the last time you left the house without this.
Never.
It's
Never.
Always on you.
Always with you.
Always on you. This is my office. This is how I do absolutely everything. I don't have an editing crew and a photography crew following me around. I literally ask strangers to take pictures of me all the time.
Oh, I love it.
The time. And I always tell them, can you take a picture? And by one, I mean like 42, because one of the 42 is going to be really good. Thank you so much. And I will drink.
Yes.
Yeah, all the time. So, okay, so we did that. Then we go into stories. In stories, you can do multiple things. So I want to kind of go through all of the different features in stories. So let's run into that very quick. And then YouTube. YouTube is an amazing platform where you can share your knowledge. Now, I don't personally use it, so I should say I do use it. My whole course, Gogo Bootcamp, is on YouTube, but it's on private YouTube, so nobody have access to that. But you can put your videos up to YouTube and then share back to your Facebook, share it, send it out in emails. That makes you, when the knowledge comes out on your lips, automatically makes you what? An expert.
Expert, credibility.
If you type up the same thing, it's not the same. If it comes out on your mouth, they know, oh, hold on, she holds the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I don't have to convince you anymore that I'm smart. You see and you hear that I'm smart because it's coming out in my mouth. Yeah. And it's not scripted. Now, forget the whole scripting. If you have to get scripted, don't do it. Don't do it because they see it that you're reading it and then it won't be pretty. Okay, so we did the videos. If there's any questions about the videos, I guess post it in the comments because I see it. I have it open on Facebook right here. So I'm going to go into the next thing is what time to post. That was one of someone's question. I don't know what time you should post. I know what time I should post. My best time is anywhere on Tuesday or Wednesday between 12 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. The reason I know that is because I have insights, and when you have a business page, you'll have that too. So well, you're going to have to log into your insights and your Instagram, which is the second button down when you go into your profile. And then it's going to show you your audience. It's going to show you who they are, where they are, how old they are, what time of the day they log in, and why is that important? Okay, let's say you have a big event. Let's say you have an EXP Explained local event where you're inviting other brokerages and companies and agents to come and learn about the company that you work with. Why you want everybody and their freaking mother to know about it? Right. Should you post it on Sunday morning when everybody's at church, or should you post it on Tuesday afternoon where your insight shows that most of your people will see it on Tuesday between noon and 3 o'clock? You should post it on Tuesday. Okay. The only way you know that is because you have insight, and the only reason you have insight is because you have a business account. It's that simple. Okay. So you must do business on business. You also cannot run ads if you don't have a business account. So now here I am telling you, throw $5 at it, not the local ESP event, because we cannot throw money at it. When I say advertise, I mean transactions. Let's say you have an open house. It's a broker open and you want everybody to come because it's your first $1 million listing and you're so proud of it. Well, that's when you throw $5 at it. So then everybody get to see it because organically your people going to see it, which means those people already follow you. But there are many other people that are in your area that don't know of your existence. And that when you throw $5 at it and say, I want to target absolutely anyone in the Brighton zip code, then everybody else is going to see it. Even if they don't have presently a real estate interest, suddenly if they see that property, like, oh my gosh, I've been always looking at that property, I can't wait to go see it. They'll come and see it. Who knows? They could be a future buyer and they might have to sell in order to list, in order to buy. So you must know your times, and that's comes from insights. The story sticker. So let's do that. So I'm going to show you how you do that in case you don't know. So you go to your Instagram, you go to your stories. So I'm just going to use this quote. So let me do this very quick. Okay. So this is what stories looks like when you started. You see, it's a video. It's showing my background right now. Yep. You see it? So let's say I want to just post a picture. I'm going to swipe up and I'm going to choose a picture like that one. Okay. This one from here. Now, when you swipe up again, you get to choose all kinds of filters. Sorry, swipe up. There you go. These are the things that I want to explain very quick, okay? Because these are very, very important. So let's talk about location right up on top. Why is that important? Let's say this is your listing that you're posting, okay? It's a beautiful listing. Do you want people in Timbuktu, Idaho know about it, or do you want people in Brighton, Michigan know about it because you're listing in Brighton, Michigan? Brighton, Michigan. So you're going to swipe up and you're going to click location and you're going to choose the city that your listing is in. The reason why, again, is because you want to reach people that follow that city, but they don't follow you. So now they're going to see your listing just because they follow Brighton, Michigan, and your listing was tagged in Brighton, Michigan, so it's going to pop up. The next one I want to talk about, so always, 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 even above your pictures. So when you're making a post, so if you go to my feed, which I have to get out of here very quick so I can show you that. Okay, so when you go to your Instagram, so here is my Instagram. I'm going to choose a photo that I'm in. Okay, so here's one. You see how under my profile, there's always the location. You see that under my name, it says Indian Rags Beach. Yep. That's because I want everybody that follow Indian Rags Beach that might not know of my existence to possibly see my post. Mm. Okay, so you always tag the location. You always tag the people that you are with. So now I'm with 4 people here. So I tag the location. I'm going to gain those eyeballs. Now I tagged the people because they have friends. Mm-hmm. And people work like monkey does, monkey do. So if they see that Jessica just closed with you, they're like, oh, if Jessica did, then I guess I'll trust Gogo too, and I'll buy a house in Gogo. You know what I mean? But this person would only know that Jessica closed with you because you took a picture with Jessica and you tagged Jessica. And when you do that, Jessica gets notified that you tag them, and then Jessica's going to share it. And then now all of my people see it and all of Jessica's people see it. And hopefully one of those people is going to share it with me.
Yes.
Or sell a house with me. So we are not doing this to post, guys. You're always doing this with a future goal in mind. Why am I doing this? I want to gain more customers. I want other agents to know about this opportunity. I want financial freedom. I want affiliates. The more followers you have, the more businesses are going to reach out to you to promote their services, which they will pay you in product, or they will pay you in how much money you generate. Usually they pay anywhere from 10 to 20%. So let's say if I'm promoting, I don't know, a shake, which I don't, but let's say I was promoting a shake. And let's say, I don't know, out of my audience, 2% signs up. So let's say 1,000 of them sign up, okay? That means if those 1,000 buys $10 worth, I just generated $50,000 worth of whatever product for them, okay? Yeah. Or 100, whatever the numbers were. I didn't pay attention to what I said. So now if I generated that, they're going to pay me 10% because it is my reach that generated them all of that money. Yeah, all of that sales. So if I generate them 50,000 and it pay me 10%, I just made $5,000 for making that one post. So there's so many ways that you can make money in real estate. It's not just the transactions. So that's one of the things. Okay, let's talk about, so let's go back to stories so I can show you guys all of the other features. Okay, then hashtags. Hashtags are very, very, very important. Hashtags are like search words. Can you see it up there? Yes.
Yes.
So they're like search words. So let's say I'm talking about beachfront properties. Okay, so then I'm going to hashtag beachfront. Why? Because I want everybody who follows the hashtag beachfront to see my post. Let's say I'm talking about why not EXP, which is my event I do every single Wednesday night explaining the EXP model. Then I would hashtag who? Take a wild guess, John.
Agents, realtors, EXP, anything that they would be searching for.
That they would be searching for, so I want them to see my post. So usually I hashtag realtor, realtors, agent, top producer, EXP, EXP proud, EXP realty, so any of those things. So that's what the hashtag feature is there for. Now GIFs or GIFs, whatever these are called in English, right there in the middle, right there. Yep. Those are those funny little pop-up things. So let's say this one is, I don't know, let's say on this one I'm talking about fireworks, or let's say it's a very good quote. So it's a quote that I'm doing and I want everybody to see it and I want fireworks on it. So you see, I just typed in fireworks and that little fireworks just popped up in the middle, but I don't think it's big enough. So I'm going to zoom out with my fingers and I'm going to make it much bigger. So now the fireworks is going over that quote.
That's great.
Okay, so these are the things, these are what they call GIFs, I think they'll pronounce them. So it allows you to just put something that moves, so set on there, that will capture their attention. The next one is music. The reason why I have music is because I switched my business account into a creator account. So in business account, you cannot have music. Instagram doesn't allow you to have the music feature in there. So if music is important to you, which to me it is, because like sometimes I post quotes or simple pictures with ideas on it, but I want a song that really will tell you how I feel about that. So I wanted that ability. So I researched it for a long time and I realized that it's very similar. You don't lose any of your business account features. You can still advertise, you still have insights, but you can turn it into a creator account and then you get music. So if you want music, turn your business account into a creator account. Then you can do polls. And polls are awesome because you can choose a yes or no answer. So let's say, or A to B. So let's say it's a before and after photo and you say, do you choose, how do you like the before or do you like the after? Or maybe it's like two different houses that your client wants to decide from and they want the world to decide for them. Should they choose one or should they choose two? Or maybe, you have a big question of like, should I change my brand name to Gogo Real Estate or should I keep it as Gogo's Real Estate? And then, click here or click here. So people get to like opt in to give you their opinion. And the more interactive you keep your account, the more Instagram is going to feed it to everybody else, because if you can capture their attention, you're doing something right. If they're taking an action because you ask them to do something and they click the button and they comment and they take the time to do it, then Instagram will promote it for even more people. Questions are awesome. So when I'm traveling, for example, and I have 5 minutes in like the Delta Sky Club or whatever, I would put questions on there. So like, hey guys, I have 2 hours at the Delta Sky Club before I'm flying to Dallas. Would you just put your questions in the comments here or, in the little box here and I will address them. So here is, if I have an hour, I can do that. Or maybe you have your newest listing and you say, oh, okay, so who wants to know more about what do you want to know about this property? Type it in the question box, and then I can answer it. Maybe they say, can I have, if the backyard fenced in? Can I have a pool in the backyard? Are dogs allowed? How much is the homeowners association? Like those kind of things. So that now you can just answer that. Or maybe you say, hey, I'm really want to specialize in Pine Creek neighborhood. What are your questions about that neighborhood? Let me dig up the answer for you. There you go. So you can automatically become the expert just by them telling you what they want to hear. And literally, they will serve it up for you on a silver platter. Sometimes I'm like, what should I talk about today?
Gold.
And I just I just put up a question thing. You guys tell me what you want to hear, then I talk about that today. So that, and then the polls are awesome too. So let me pull up the polls. I think we just talked about that. Those are these yes and no. So you would type the question on the top, should I shave my head? And then you're going to say yes or no. Okay. Right. So those kind of stuff. So these are some of the features. So get familiar with it. Do you know why I know these? John, you want to take a wild guess? Do you think it?
One, being a student of it, but two, trial and error, because you're not afraid to try to figure it out.
Yeah. So newsflash, Instagram did not send me an SOP when I joined. Okay? Right. I didn't get a book that you didn't. I figured it out. I was that annoying 3-year-old, got in there and pushed every button and see what happens when I push it. Okay, so that's your job, is to push those buttons, and you'll see what's working and what's not working for you. And you see the leads are coming in and people start reaching out to you like, oh my gosh, it's working. Trust me, it works. Okay. So Zoom CMAs is another thing. So in some of the states now, you're not allowed to, like, not only that you're not allowed to go, but some people just don't feel comfortable you entering their home. That doesn't mean they don't need to sell. So one of the things you could say is like, hey guys, from now on, every Monday night from 6 to 9 p.m., I am doing Zoom CMAs, which literally I will run your value of your home on the screen with you. So you will walk me through your home. So we'll jump on a Zoom call. You walk me through your home so I can see the condition and the layout, all that stuff. And right there, after that, we'll sit down. I run your CMA right there in person, tell you how much your home is worth. If you like the numbers, then we can list it. So that is something that you can do and start promoting every single week. You can throw $5 at it and run that as a continuous ad where people will literally jump right into your calendar. And you can, in order to do that, you'll go into Calendly. If you don't have a Calendly account, create one. Create an event that's called Zoom CMAs, okay? Or you can go to Eventbrite and create a Zoom CMAs. Like, it's an event. Create an event for it, where people have to opt in. They will give you their name. And the questions, especially if you create an Eventbrite, the question you can control. What do you want to ask them? You want to ask them their name. You want to ask them their phone number. You want to ask them the address of the property. You want to ask them for their email address, because that's how you're going to send them the calendar invite. And there you go. That is your listing appointment right there. You never even left the couch. And then you promote it all over your social media. You can create a video explaining what a Zoom CMA is. And with the current state of what everything is at, I understand that you don't feel so comfortable to having someone in your home to figure out the approximate value of your home. So we are doing Zoom CMAs every Monday from 6 to 9 p.m. in order for you to hop into my calendar, where I will personally, via Zoom, walk through your home electronically. And then you and me will sit down. I will run the numbers. When you like the numbers, if you decide to list, we can do all the paperwork electronically without me ever stepping a foot into your home. And then you just invite them with that video. If you would like to know the value of the home, just click the link below, hop into my calendar, and I would love to run the numbers for you personally. There you go. CMAs, do it every single Monday, 6 to 9, 3 listings a week. That is what, 12 a month? Can you go 12
listing appointments? Boom.
Yeah. Let's say you have a 50% ratio.
Yeah.
That's 6 listings a month.
That's
72 listings a year.
Cool. I love that.
Listings a year. And you might say, I don't even want to list those. I want to be in Florida, so I'm going to buy a listing. I'm going to hire a listing specialist. I'm just going to do these CMAs from Florida. And then they're going to do all the legwork in Michigan.
Yep, that's right.
Like, there's a million ways to skin a cat. So that's the Zoom CMAs. And in order to get away with this kind of, because people are visual, they want to see that other people have done it before. So then talk to a friend, ask them if they would be willing. Maybe you buy them dinner. I don't know. Maybe you cook them dinner, and say, hey, listen, would you help my business? Would you do a Zoom CMA with me, acting like you're a potential seller? Will you walk me through your home through video, and I run the numbers of your home, and then would you allow me to use that for marketing purposes so that I can have more future potential sellers? You want to have at least one of those videos that you can show what it's like and how it works, because most people won't understand what a CMA is in the first place, and then how you could possibly get that done via Zoom. So get on those. Must link your accounts together. We talked about that. So whatever business account you have, you link it together so you can do 1 time the work, 2 times the hit. Okay, one of the things that I see on people's accounts is you don't have call to action. You have a story, you have a good hook maybe, but if you don't have a call to action, look at it like, how do I say that? Common sense is not that common anymore, guys. They don't give it out in 2021 anymore. So just assume that they don't have a clue what you want them to do. Okay. So what you need to make sure that every time you post that you hit 3 things. You want to hit a hook. What is your hook? Which is going to be that first sentence that's going to capture their attention. Maybe you say, when I was broke. Maybe you say, I can't believe I'm a millionaire. And then you go into the story, and then you go into the CTA, what I call the call to action. You have to have a call to action. I just called, prior to this phone call, I actually called one of our agents on Team Gogo. She made an amazing post, but there was no call to action at the end. So then what was your goal with it? What are you trying to achieve with this post?
Right.
You need to have people take action on it, and you need to spell it out what that action is. So this one was about her EXP journey. So then you should say at the end, you say, if you want to know more about EXP and considering potentially bringing your business over, I would love the opportunity to talk to you. Every Wednesday night, we do what's called the Why Not EXP Explained. It's via Zoom. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home. I would love to personally invite you. So if you're interested, just DM me and I will send you the link directly. So there has to be a call to action at the end. You can't assume that people know what you want to achieve with that post. And again, just know, we don't post to post. I don't post because I don't have anything else going on today. I post because I have something that I'm trying to achieve with that post, and then spell it out. So you have to have a hook, then you have to have a story, then you have to have a call to action at the end.
Yep.
Spell it out like they are.
Yep.
Can I say the word? No, I'm not going to say it, but spell it out. Yep. And then I think that's what I had notes on today, and
I love it. It was fantastic. I've got 3 pages of notes myself, and we're here at the little over the top of the hour, and just a great things for everybody to focus on into 21 to really dominate social media, and just remember we got to be where the eyeballs are, and we know that's where the eyeballs are, and even that statistic sharing that consumers are consuming all of your content and information and answering their questions before they have a conversation with you, it's going to continue to be even 70, 80, 90% of the consumers are going to consume before they ever talk to you. So,
I mean, think about it. Even before COVID, we spent a lot of time on social media, but during COVID, people spend an average anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day. Because they don't have anything else to do but get to the freaking end of Facebook.
Yep.
And Netflix.
Netflix.
Until then, social media. So your job is to be on there. So the one thing I forgot to mention, swipe up is one of the biggest opportunity on any of these platforms. And you get that as soon as you have 10,000 followers. You won't be able to do swipe ups unless you're running an ad. If you run an ad, you can do a swipe up. But if you're doing this organically, you have to have 10,000 followers in order to have a swipe up. In case you're wondering what is a swipe up, is this. So let's say I'm talking about the Why Not EXP event I'm going to have tonight at 8, okay? Now I'm going to do a swipe up and I'm going to put that little icon swipe up, spell it out for them. Swipe up. When they swipe up, it goes directly to the event invite page. So then they can just opt in. I don't have to say, go to www.eventbrite.com/Gogo's Real Estate to opt into this event. I just say swipe up. And then I have the ability to take them off of Instagram onto Eventbrite where they can register for the event. So you want to swipe up, but you get that as soon as you have 10,000 followers. So your job is to get those 10,000 followers.
I love it. I love it. Gogo, I appreciate you. And thank you for being just a true expert and mentor, and really just pouring in and adding value as always. And I guess, what's the one final parting shot that you want everybody to like, hey, get this?
Don't fight it. Don't fight the idea of social media, because you are going to be a dinosaur. That's not a question. It's a fact. So you have to get over the idea, because think about it this way. If you don't exist, they're going to come to me. You don't want that. And trust me, there's someone in your local area that's doing really good with social media, which means they are getting all the eyeballs, not you. So now your job is to make sure to stay relevant, to stay competition. If not, you don't exist.
That's right. Golden. Love it. Appreciate you. Tell Dwayne I said hello, and man, enjoy that Florida sun, and look forward to connecting with you guys in person, hopefully soon. And
I can't wait. And just so you guys didn't know this, but just before halftime the call we went live, Dwayne peeked in here and he said, "Hey John, by the way, it's your fault." It's not like it's your fault. It's your doing, I should say, that we are in Florida, because at that event is that you opened up our eyes to the ability of we can live anywhere. Like, why do we live in Florida? Or why do we live in Michigan? Why do we suffer through the winter? So now we are snowbirds. We live down here for 6 months and up there for 6 months.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So excited for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you guys all on the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Team Gogo, for listening in. Thanks, Honey.